All right, so another gentle little lesson for you guys as we ease our way into our measurement unit of work. Last class was all about converting. We converted units of length, which are one-dimensional, and we converted units of area, right? So say we've got a centimeter here, this would be a centimeter squared. We've got one more lot of converting to do, which is a bit different. We're converting volume or capacity. So we're converting things that are in 3 dimensions now, right? So we're dealing with things like centimeter cubes, right? Things that take up 3D space, right? This would be a centimeter cubed, right? Little 3 there because it's in 3 dimensions. So again, you've got a flowchart to refer to. And what you might just notice is we've got kind of 2 different things that we measure volume in, 3-dimensional space. We can use the old centimeter, millimeter, meter cubed, right? There they all are. But in amongst all this stuff, we've got liters as well, because when we're working with 3D space, often we're filling it up with some kind of liquid or something, right? So we kind of have liters in the middle of this conversion. So if you needed to go from centimeters cubed to meters cubed, you could just pass through liters and, divide by 1,000, divide by 1,000 again. The other thing that's worth noting is that a centimeter cubed is actually the same as having 1 mil, right? So if you're working in milliliters in your work today, it's going to be the same answer as what it is if you're measuring in centimeters cubed. Basically, if you got one of those little centimeter blocks, right? Centimeter, 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 and it was hollow, you could put 1 mil of a drink inside it and it would fit perfectly. So your questions today will go between mils and liters and centimeters and meters, but just know that 1 milliliter is a centimeter cube. They're the same thing. This is in your work as well, so you'll be able to print that off or copy it down into your glossary because this flowchart should go in there. And if you really want to know how liters fit into this whole scheme, you can just imagine you've got like a big container, right, that goes 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter, right? A meter here, a meter there. So if you've got a big bucket that goes meter, 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 basically that meter cubed would fit 1,000 liters in it, right? So if you go and get some kind of container that goes a meter that way, a meter that way, and a meter up and down, you'll have to fill it up with 1,000 liters of water before it's full, right? And that's what this flowchart says, right? 1,000 liters fit inside a meter cubed. So with all of that said, you should be able to use this flowchart to answer some questions. So we'll do a few examples and get you on your way. All right, so just like all of our other converting questions from the previous lesson, these things are okay as long as you know how many of one unit fit inside the other one. Right? We have flowcharts to tell us that, and we have calculators to do the calculations for us. So we've just got to look carefully at what we're turning into something else and then find the matching spot of our flowchart. So I have 4 centimeter cubes, and I want to know how many millimeter cubes go in there. Millimeter cubes, very, very, very small 3D little objects, almost grains of sand, basically. So we find the right part of our flowchart to turn a centimeter cubed into a millimeter cubed. So in the first example, it's here. And essentially 1,000 little millimeter cubes fit inside a centimeter cube. So to turn this unit into that unit, just follow the flowchart times by 1,000. So that gives us 4,000, and always very, very important to actually write down what kind of unit we're working with. Otherwise, the whole question's pointless, right? These are millimeter cubes. I converted them from one into the other. For the next one, I've got centimeter cubes, or mils, really, because 1 milliliter is the same thing as a centimeter cubed. And I want to know how many liters that would be. So if you can imagine that's mils, you might have an easy time because you might know there's 1,000 mils in a liter. But we'll just follow our flowchart to go from the centimeter cubed section to the liter section, right? Going from this to that, we're going in this direction here, which means we're going to be dividing by 1,000. So we really just need to go 7,800, divide it by that 1,000 that the flowchart tells us to, and we get 7.8 liters, right? We've got our unit of work, unit of measurement in our answer. Otherwise, it could be 7.8 anything. So for the last one, we're turning 0.52 meters cubed into liters, right? So just find the right part of your flowchart, go that way. So it's 0.52 times 1,000. And that would equal 520 liters. All right, so some of your questions today will go a bit further and give you some real life examples. So you might have to convert them into, like, I don't know, glasses or shovels. But you'll be working with these kind of measurements to start with and then doing some dividing in your work. Hopefully those word questions don't cause you too many problems. But as long as you got this flowchart and a calculator available, you should be able to get pretty close to most of your answers. So good luck.